What's up, YouTube? Picked up a customer bike. Go over this one in a little bit once I get it off the trailer. We got the Road King in here. Grab this other light. Yeah. Slow roll Saturday. Normally I'm up and at 'em bright and early, but Not today. So this thing's back. The brake light switch was sticking. They messed with it yesterday and can't duplicate the issue. It was like that when I picked it up. That's what it's here for. And then the thing's been sitting for a minute, so just gonna give it a quick once over. But now, for whatever reason, it's working proper. Definitely a little low. I found a crack on this upper reservoir too, so we're gonna have to replace that. There's a hairline crack there, and the master is very low in terms of pressure. So I'm guessing it just lost brake pressure in the line. So we'll get that figured out. Pretty low miles, under 20K. Really clean. Put some fresh air in the tires, and I'll go through the fluids and see if those need to get fixed. In other news, Evo Sporty is officially listed for sale because I got to free up some funds. I got a new vehicle that I kind of got an eye on, and I got a guy coming right now, so I got to grab the, let's just go out and I'll pull it out right now. Evo Sporty's up for sale. With the Softail, we're not really riding it anymore. It's fun for me to rip back and forth when I need it, but here is the rigid Paco frame that I've had sitting around forever. This is hopefully getting sold in about 10 minutes. So, time will tell. Guy's coming out. He's got like a half-hour drive or something. So he's coming out to grab this thing, I hope. So this is, I don't remember, I think I listed it for like $850 or $750. I gotta double check my post. Lots of interest on this one. Comes with the neck cups. Needs to have motor mount upper drilled for that, and standard issue chopper. But it's a nice ready to go frame, so if you don't have a welder, this is a great option for you. I don't have the MSO or paperwork for this, but my plan was to rip apart that Evo and drop it into here. I just don't have time. We got the customer bike going over here on the Ironhead. I dug through all the bins, laid everything out on the table yesterday. Hopefully you saw that in the time lapse. And pulled out the parts that I need. So I do have the rear motor mount bolts. I have the fronts in and a bunch of spacers that need to get hooked up with the crossover peg bar. So we'll go through all of that maybe a little bit later today. We'll see. Just gonna hang out and wait for this guy to get here. Get rid of this first. And then maybe tomorrow we'll be getting a new truck. But time will tell. All right, well, finally got the mic plugged back in, so audio should get a little bit better. Frame's still here. Guy came out, looked at it. I had it listed at $750. I double checked. Negotiated with him a little bit, but he offered $500. I need more than $500 out of it. So I got $1,400 frame new. So if anybody's interested in a Paco Evo frame, I got one. Secondly, these are also going to get listed here. I gotta find a buyer for this stroker motor. We got kind of all apart, well, at least the rear. Everything, I have all the hardware, all the parts for it. It's just got to be reassembled. I took it apart to verify what was inside. I got the videos on that. If anybody's interested, take a look. If anybody's looking for a stroker Ironhead build, it's here. It's done up. I'd like to see this go to somebody that I know is going to put it back on the road. I'd like to, it's too much for me, and I don't really care about the go fast stuff nearly as much. I like doing a little bit of head work and P-cams and helping them out a little bit with decent carb and good tune, but not really big into the crazy stroker stuff, so that'll be next. And then, unfortunately, that frame didn't go away. Ideally tomorrow, I'm gonna be trying to get up and look at a truck, so I need a heavier duty dually type situation for hauling all the sand at the new shop, because we are going through quite a bit of it. But I think what I'm gonna do now is start jamming on this a little bit more. I still need the bolt for the top of the springer. I went through and found a bunch of the bags of parts, and I kind of want to get this at least laid out where the motor's actually bolted in. So I grabbed 2 bolts and just jammed the rear in on those 2 top sections. But I found the actual motor mount bolts in the box. So I'm gonna clear some space over here. Maybe I'll jack this up a little bit so I'm not bending over trying to get this in. I gotta figure out the front axle setup on this as well. I think that's a 5/8 axle. I don't know what we're gonna do for the front wheel on that. He's got a dual disc narrow glide wheel 21. We're not running brakes on this, so we'll have to get a little creative. I might need to do some 5/8 bearing conversions of some sort at some point when we get around to it. But right now I just want to kind of get the motor locked in place. Found the upper motor mount and some of the crossover stuff, and we'll go from there. So let me get you guys set up and move some stuff and get this thing up in the air. We are jacked up, ready to go. So I'm going to get rid of the chrome hardware I had. I'm going to replace it with this factory hardware that came out of the bike. It's always neat when you're sitting here trying to put a bike together in a box, because it's really a lot of time digging and searching for what's what. So we got these ones for up top. Man, it sounds like there's something running up on my roof. Probably is. Don't know what. But I can hear them. Okay, where are all my tools? Got things everywhere. I'm losing all my stuff. My ratchet might be dying. That's no good. All right. Ugh. New stuff we're putting in it is grade 8 too, so at least on the lowers. All right, lowers are in. We'll do the upper while we're over here. And I gotta source some electric start parts for this too at some point. Talking with the customer yesterday about that. He's an older guy, and you know, he wanted to keep it kick only, and I honestly kind of convinced him not to. It's just kind of a quick little bar hopper for him. Not really a chopper build, or chopper guy rather. And it's just easier. Don't get me wrong, I like my kickstarts, but at the same time, I want him to be able to actually ride the thing. So, that is what we're gonna do. Now, I gotta still tighten all of these down completely, but that is a good starting point. Let me figure out where the rest of my tools are. I'm missing some stuff, so rear motor mount's kind of in. I'll grab a 9/16 wrench and actually snug those rears down. Rear motor mount is tightened down. Now I gotta kind of mess around with this front one, which is gonna be kind of a pain just because it is sitting down right now. And we got a lot of stuff to figure out here. So I don't need this yet. But what I do need to do is figure out this contraption and how this is set up. It looks like they have this notched. Not the prettiest setup in the world, but should, in theory, work. I'm guessing this is going to run across these two. Let's find out. Let's see what we got to do here. I don't have any of the spacers in between the motor yet, which I know I will need. So I'll have to finagle this a little bit, but it's kind of making do with what we got. I'm gonna need to lift this frame up, aren't I? Bummer. How is this laid out? Something like that on each side? How do I want to do this? Let me get a scissor lift underneath this thing somehow. It's really not that fun doing all this stuff by yourself. This would have been so much easier to move and get that blanket out if I had another person up here, but every single time when you're working by yourself, you gotta get creative sometimes. So now we have these pretty much loose up front. I shouldn't have to change the rears. I don't have these tightened down yet, but pull these acorns out now. The rears will keep it in place, and I definitely need to figure out some sort of spacer setup for the front of this as well. But let's see what this thing looks like. I'm assuming this had to have gone in here this way. I don't like it if it sits behind the mounts though. There's notches here in the frame. Does it go this way? How does this lay out? It didn't go down here. It's gotta go there. Something like that. That lines up on the frame notch. Kind of. Come on now. It's had to have gone this way. Let's see if I can get one side in. Can't say I love the way this looks. Okay, so one's in. Come on. gotta go through that way. Let's see. Make sure I get the other motor mount plate on too, since we lost that one. Oh. What the hell is going on? What am I doing here? Why isn't my brain working today? There we go. Let me tighten this one up so I can at least get this to bite in. Okay, so that's in now. Now, okay, those are in. Now the uppers. Fun part. It wants to line up. It's so close. Oh, wait. This was on the bike at one point, which is why I'm kind of struggling here. Doesn't look like it lines up the best, but it should. Comes through on this side. Let's go backwards on it. And the best part is I get to take all of this apart and do it over again once we figure out the actual inner spacers. 1, 2, maybe I can be proactive and do that now. 3. Yeah, 3 on top, 3 on bottom. So let's just jam those in right now. Maybe that helps. You guys see that better? You don't want to just bolt all thread in here and tighten these down. You do want the spacers to keep the frame from pulling in. So that'll go like that. And we'll do 3 on the bottom. Let's see if I can loosen that one up without making it too much of a pain in the butt. 2 and 3. Now all I gotta do is get this top one to line up in there. It's so close. So close, come on. You're right there. Okay, it's gonna fight me. Where's my banging tools? Where the hell are my hammers? It's definitely not my favorite design for this. on. Right there. Oh, crap. I'm gonna have to slot that hole. Here's what we're looking at on the alignment. It's right friggin' there, but just off. So let me, I guess, open this up a little bit. Oh, shit. Such a pain. If I Dremel that out just a hair, I just don't know how this went in before. So goddamn close. All right, so I started with the top. I didn't have to actually drill anything. I just reconfigured the arrangement. So instead of doing the bottom one first and then doing the top, I did the top first, and now that's all through. So we can snug these plates up here. And now we got pegs. So I do still have to put all the washers on, so I'll do that next. Know that it's all sitting right here, but the axle and motor mount bolts are back in. Unfortunately, some of these acorns, I should have put the washers on first. Actually, I wonder if I should just do that right now. Why is this my life? What do you bet this won't go in now that I took the top one out? So stupid. Remember your hardware, folks. Because it's not fun redoing this over and over and over again. Come on. God damn it. All right, start from scratch, all over again. At least now I know it will go. It's still a pain in the ass. Okay, washer. And we can start driving these in, spacer. Hopefully this will be the final assembly. Okay. Oh, damn it. Oh. Love this game. Anybody know what I didn't do? Motor mount plate. And I think that's kind of important. Too hot and sweaty and muggy in here. Okay, now we can get this in. If you're really particular about making sure everything looks absolutely perfect, you don't want to use a hammer on the end of your acorn nuts. I'm doing it, but I'm not crazy concerned. We're not really cleaning up this motor at all either. Just kind of a functional bike, if you will. Get this bolt in to hold this motor mount in place. All right, now the lowers. So we need a washer. Not forgetting that this time. Washer. Spacers. All three of them. Motor mount is in. Let me see what this looks like on the other side. No, not too bad. All right, washer, acorn nut down here. You know what? We're gonna snug this up first and then put the washers on. There's a little bit of slop on the frame still. And let's get that last one through. Down here, washer. Huh. You know what? I wonder. No, we're good. I just want to check the alignment, make sure everything's lining up on the frame proper, which it is. I'm going to add one to this rear lower mount on the inside. Just because with that bracket on there, it's sticking out just a hair. And I don't want the motor mount plate at the bottom twisting. So that shim should give us plenty of room for these. So I put the washer in over here. This side's flush on the case, so we don't have to worry about it there. And I'll grab a wrench and snug down these lowers. We'll worry about the top one in a minute. Man, I'm dripping sweat all over the place. I don't like these muggy days at all. Should move somewhere colder. Ugh. All right, so I need to blindly grab this nut. And we need a washer and an acorn on the last one, and we should be good. All right, motor is installed. The only thing we got left now is this upper motor mount, which I'm not really super worried about that one yet. Yeah, maybe we can just throw it in. What do you think? It's sitting on the bag. Let's get one more bag out of here. I wasn't gonna do it yet, but that's at least one thing to check off the list. So, grade 8 bolt up top. We'll have to make sure that all of this kind of lines up on here. And he's still running the, looking at the intake clamps, he's still got like the Phillips style. Not a giant fan of those. Let's make sure this all lines up proper. Oh, we're not even close here. This goes on the bottom. Whoops. Much better. So we'll get this on. And nut and washer. Not a lot of room when the intake is hooked up. Come on, a couple threads. Help me out here. The whole internet's watching. There we go. That looks like we got some chrome dealios or stainless Allen heads down here, which will work just fine. Surprisingly, this is actually lining up really well on the motor mount alignment, so that's nice. A lot of times you gotta play with different shims and spacers and try and make all this. Well, you should. I usually run a two-piece mount. Find it to be a little bit easier. But use what we got. How much room do I have in here? Enough. Just trying to get a little bit of tension on this motor mount, not up top. We're not going to final torque it until I get these lower ones mounted to the heads. But there's not really a ton of room in here. Come on. Whew. Semi-tight. Well, snug, rather. Where are we at here? First try. Oh, come on, really? Two different sizes? I hate that. Absolutely hate that. Retorque these here first, and then we'll do that last motor mount. Two different sizes. Who does that? All right. And the last one. Okay. Here and get the last motor mount into the frame. Okay. There we have it. Motor is installed. I'm gonna have to turn the fan on. I hate having that thing running when I'm working on stuff, especially when I'm filming, because it's loud and obnoxious, but I'm dying. And I'm more important than you guys, right? Whew. Let's get that fan going. Motor's in, so that's huge accomplishment. Not that it was really that bad to do, but now we're kind of on to whatever else I feel like messing with today. I don't want to spend the whole day up here. It's looking kind of nice out there. Rain this morning. Maybe I'll try and jump on a bike and enjoy myself a little bit. We'll see. Base with my buddy, and he's trying to dig out a starter for me, electric starter, if I can find one. But I did pop this block-off plate. I don't have a ring gear on here, so I'm gonna need a clutch as well, or a basket with the ring gear, or get a ring gear and weld one on. I don't know. I think, now that I think about it, the motor that I just ripped the cases apart and coated for that Ironhead over there, I think I have the clutch basket with the ring gear on it, so we'll pop into this primary and swap that out. Or I can grab parts from him too. I know he's for sure got a clutch for me if I need it. But what do I want to do next? I might start messing around with the rear wheel. Maybe we can throw the crossover in. So many options. Just trying to clear out this real quick before we actually do the install. Get some of the grit out of there from blasting. And then we'll lube this thing up and slide in the crossover shaft so I don't get too far ahead of myself. Let me find some grease. Clean up some of the excess. Went a little heavy on that. Ooh, how is all this gonna work? Might have to dig out some of the linkages and figure out how all this is gonna lay out. I don't wanna mess around with the oil tank stuff yet, just because I don't know what's gonna work or not work. I got this little half one over here, but that's gonna be very dependent on what the starter situation is. So I think that's pretty much it. Maybe I'll mess around with the rear wheel, see what I got for spacers. Wheel is coming up next, so I'm gonna be using a bunch of the oddball spacers that I have in the bag that's labeled. I don't know how he had all of this oriented prior, so I'm just gonna start with what I think is gonna work, but we're really guessing here since we're mix and matching a ton of different parts. He's got a couple of these types of spacers, so drop a couple of these in. This one next. I can make new ones too, but just kind of see what I need to do to get close here. Definitely need more over here. Axle's in. This is in the retaining plate. This one's all the way through like it's supposed to be. Still looks like it might be, oh, it's centered up. I'll have to throw a chain on there and finalize all that. Might need to tweak it a little bit, but it's centered up in the frame. That'll be a future problem. Let me throw a nut on there so I don't lose it, and that'll kind of wrap this one up, because now I'm hot and sweaty. And I really want a beer, but it's too early for that. So, I think I'm gonna jump on a bike. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I know this video is kind of all over the place. We'll be back on the next one. Next time we start working on something else on this thing. Or that thing. Or maybe the mini bike. That's a quick and easy one. We'll see. I'll catch you guys later. Quick update. I forgot he's running a disc brake. I don't know how I didn't think about that, but that whole spacing section on this side is going to be altered now whenever I get around to the caliper. That's a big old bracket. My bad. Catch you on the next one.